It's that time of the year. I think a lot of you guys have started school like very recently. Like maybe today was your first day of school, a week ago, or school's coming up right around the corner. And I've kind of been thinking about that. I feel bad for you guys. Like when you guys go back to school, it reminds me of school. And honestly, I fucking hate school. And I thought I would make a video because it's kind of relevant. I mean, you guys are, getting back into the grind of school and thinking about school and stuff. So I thought I would make a video talking about how I was in school, the kind of student, I guess, that I was, or my experiences with school, the good, the bad, well, mostly just, I don't know, how it went. But I just want to say this before I get into, like, my stories of school. My history and, like, the way I went through school is kind of weird, and I don't recommend it for any of you guys. I got lucky. I'm very blessed in life, and I'm able to, do things easier, I guess, than most. I don't know if that's the right way to word that, but I wouldn't recommend doing school how I did school. But without further ado, let's talk about school. Now, I'm going to narrow this down specifically to high school. The reason why is because I feel like the majority or the core of my audience, like most of you guys are somewhere between the age of like 14 to like 17, which means you're in high school. Obviously, middle school, whatever. I don't really remember much from there. I remember more from elementary school. I don't really remember middle school much. I don't know why. It's just kind of a blur to me. So if you're in middle school, have fun in middle school. But this video, I'm going to be talking about my high school and what exactly happened in high school. Now, I was a good student. I wasn't a student that, did anything wrong. Like I was never like the troublemaker of the class. I was never, the person that was bugging the teacher. I wasn't the class clown. I wasn't like whatever. My only thing that I did bad in class was not fucking go. I graduated high school with a 33% attendance rate. And I'm going to kind of get into that later, but that was actually the lowest attendance rate of my entire like high school that graduated, obviously. And I'm kind of proud of that, but like I kind of not proud of that. Like once again, this isn't something for you guys to like look up to, obviously. But I think it's pretty awesome that I was only able to attend school like a third of the amount of other people, and we ended up with the same piece of paper. So I think that's pretty dope. I don't know what you guys think, but that's probably my number one accomplishment from high school, to be honest. Now, the way high school went for me was I don't know. I just felt like high school was such a waste of time. And here's why. When I would go into class and we would get like our typical worksheet for the day, I would kind of like, I'm a quick worker, right? So whenever the teacher comes in and hands the paper and says, fill this out, this is our work for the day. And then at the end, we're going to go over notes or something like that. I would finish the paper in like 5 minutes. So what this would cause me to do is literally sit there waiting for other people. And it made my whole like theory, my whole feeling, my whole everything, like my expression towards school, like negative, because I just felt like everyone else around me, like either one, didn't give a fuck, two, was really dumb, or like whatever. Like I just literally felt like I sat there all fucking day. And I don't know if any of you guys feel the struggle. I don't know if any of you guys were going to relate with any part of this, but in school, I literally just sat there and fucking did nothing for like 97% of the day. Like literally just fucking waited like until, the bell rang and I went to the next fucking class. You know what I mean? Like I literally did not do fucking anything. I just sat there and waited all damn day. And that's the number one reason I hated school, man. It was so like frustrating. It's not even that I hated doing the work or whatever, but it's just sitting there and just knowing like, all right, I could be doing something else, but they won't let you. Like you can't get your cell phone out. You can't talk on the phone. You can't fucking Skype somebody. You can't fucking watch YouTube videos. You can't do anything. You gotta sit there like it's fucking prison and just wait for like 7 hours. Now this brings me to my second most hated part of school, and I think a lot of you guys can relate to me in this topic for sure. Waking up in the fucking morning. I am not a fucking morning person, all right? My normal sleep schedule, I wake up at like 2, 3, 4 p.m., all right? When school's fucking over, all right? I do not agree with, I do not like waking up at 7 a.m. Like I had this big idea to like make a petition to change school to like 11 a.m. And I think that would be awesome. Like type below, if school started like 4 hours later, would you be happy? Yes or no? Because school starting at 7 a.m. or whatever the fuck time is so ridiculous, all right? I cannot fucking stand that. and I just had to get these two out of the way because I fucking hate them both. So anyways, as you can see, I kind of came to a realization that school was just a big waste of time, and that's kind of how I looked at it. And school really isn't a big waste of time, depending on, everybody's born differently. Some of you guys are born geniuses, some of you guys are born and you need to learn shit. You know what I mean? That's life. So luckily me, I honestly didn't really learn much in school. I already felt like I knew everything. I'm going to get more into this later, but basically I came to the conclusion that I just wasted time in school. All I did was sit there and just do nothing. That's all I did at school. So I kind of came up with this new equation of how I would get through school. Now in my school, 60% a D was passing, and passing is all you needed. You didn't need to get an A or whatever. You just needed to pass school. And so I basically came to this conclusion that 60% was passing, and all of the classes in my school, 60% of your grade was from your test. I am an excellent test taker. So by my theory, by my math, whatever, as long as I got an A on every single test, I would pass every class and I wouldn't have to do any work that there was. So what this led to was me being very lazy, me just not doing anything. I would go to school and literally I would walk in, I would have my headphones in, I'd be banging out back in the day, some Lil Wayne, No Ceilings. You guys know what I'm saying? Have my headphones in, go in, pass out. I used to bring my backpack and I used to just fill it up with jackets so I could literally just use it as a pillow on my table, and I would sleep through every class. I never studied, I never did homework, I never did anything. All I did was take tests, and this led to my grades being somewhere between a 61 to 65% in every single class besides basketball, because your boy was a young hooper. Now, this actually led to me dropping out of school. The reason why is because I got really sick for about a month and a half, and my grades all dropped because I wasn't doing the test, I wasn't doing the work, I just wasn't there for a month and a half. My grades all dropped down to 35, 40%, and this is where my method kind of come to fail. Now, I dropped out of school because I was fuck this. I don't need this. I don't want this. This is awful. In school, I was the most stressed out version of myself that I have ever been. I hated every single day. Every day waking up sucked. Whenever I had a day off school, that was the best. That was literally felt like Christmas morning to me whenever I didn't have to go to school. I would skip school as much as I could. Anytime I had a sickness, even a cold, a runny nose, had to go poop, whatever, I would do everything I could to go home early, to not go to school, to sleep in, whatever it would be, I would do that. So I dropped out of high school, and a lot of people kind of looked at this negatively, but me, I don't know, I've always been an entrepreneur, and I kind of thought to myself, I've always thought this, and I don't know if everyone thinks this way, but I always said to myself, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do something myself. I don't need to learn anything from school. I don't need to be taught anything from anyone. I'm going to be able to do this all by myself. And I always had that mindset. And I think that's probably, it's definitely a really good mindset to have. I would say that I'm slightly cocky in life or whatever, but I think that's really what got me where I am. I think being cocky and just having in my mind that I can do it no matter what, I think that's really what got me to where I am today. And that's kind of the mindset I have. So I dropped out and I was just fuck this, dude. I am not doing this. I'm done with it. Whatever. And it was hell, dude. It was literal hell. My parents were really angry. I couldn't play video games anymore. My life fucking sucked. So there's this program where I live, and it's called Missouri Options. Now, I was kind of forced into doing this. I didn't really want to do it, but I decided to do it just to make my parents happy. Honestly, I would still be the same person today if I didn't have a diploma from high school. Maybe some of you guys would look down on that, say that I'm a piece of shit scumbag, whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't think a high school diploma really means much, honestly. If you're going to college, if you want to do something that requires you to go to college, that's fine, and that's the normal life. But some people like me, I just like to take a risk. I want to do something, an all or nothing type scenario. That's what I want, dude. That's really what I want. So I ended up going to this program called Missouri Options. Basically, there was all these people in the class, I think 25. And the thing was, I went every other day for 2 hours to study for this big test. And if I could pass this test with a B, then I would get my high school diploma. I would graduate with my class. If I couldn't pass, then, well, I had to do it again next year. So out of that whole class, I don't know if any of you guys know my friend Aaron, but he's done a stream or two with me. I think a couple of drug streams. He's a cool guy. I've been friends with him forever. Out of the whole class, me and him were the only two people to pass that. And I ended up graduating high school with my entire class with a 33% attendance. I got sent to ISS all the time. I loved ISS because instead of getting woken up every hour between sleeps, I would just sleep for 7 hours. I wasn't a bad student. I didn't cause problems with anybody. I never had fights. I was friends with my three friends that I'm still friends with today, Chris, Robbie, and Aaron. You guys might know some of them. They were the three most popular kids in my school, and them were my three best friends. So it ended up working out like in my favor. I didn't have to talk to anybody, and I was just kind of popular by default, I guess, because of my friends. So high school overall, I'll give it a 0 out of 10. Fuck high school. I don't like school at all. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys love school. But one thing I will say, man, is stay in school, dude. Because if I could actually look back from this, now I'm 23, so I'm kind of past school. But I wouldn't have the friends that I have today. Like, you wouldn't know anybody in your town. Like, I literally, as a gamer, you do not go out and meet people. Like, there's no physical way to do that. You only know people online and people from your school. So go to school, make some friends, because you're going to need them dudes later down the road. And yeah, this was my experience with school, high school. It was pretty dope. I mean, I didn't party. I didn't do none of that. I never got into like going out and drinking and stuff like that. Like I've said before, I didn't start drinking until I started streaming. You guys made me kind of get in the celebration mode of life where I felt like I finally accomplished something and I wanted to celebrate it. So I started drinking a couple years ago because you guys are awesome. And yeah, I didn't go out. I didn't party. I just fucking played video games, and that's where I'm at today. And now I play video games for a fucking living. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any stories similar to this or any stories at all about school, let me know. But I feel like I would make a video about this because it's pretty relevant because you guys all just started school. And yeah, that's where we're at. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you guys new, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.